Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mac here from Cryptstar Staking, your number one source of DeFi crypto news on the tube. And today I want to do a sort of November early update for the Aleph Zero blockchain. There's been a lot going on, and we at Cryptstar have been really busy updating our testnet validator nodes. So yeah, I want to go ahead and cover what this recent testnet update entailed and sort of how it's going to help the validator launch on mainnet. Also today I want to talk a little bit about the Aleph Zero and the liminal protocol that's launching, which is basically the privacy enabled DeFi platform that is being built for Aleph Zero. I want to talk about how that differentiates from the current DeFi like SushiSwap and what do you call it, Uniswap and all those different AMMs, how this will differentiate from that, and how the privacy feature will also be different from ZK Snarks and Zcash. And yeah, and then last but not least, today I want to talk a little bit about the Aleph Zero Echo prerogative, the priority that Aleph Zero team is putting on Echo, because we at Cryptstar, we really eco-friendly company. We love the environment, and we really believe that blockchain should be focused on trying to become carbon negative and carbon neutral. And I want to talk about how the Aleph Zero core development team is making that a core focus for them as well. All right, so before we get started, of course, as usual, make sure you subscribe, hit that notifications bell right down there. And if you have any questions during the video, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know. And of course, if you don't have any questions, feel free to just let me know, hey, what'd you have for breakfast? Or what you gonna have for lunch? Because you know what? I'm always hungry. So you know what? I'm always looking for new food to eat. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video today. So to start off with, we go ahead and talk about the Aleph Zero testnet update. This is probably the biggest piece of news to come to Aleph Zero over the past week or so, okay? And this testnet update is the update to 8.0, and the point of it was to remove the dead validators. So a lot of people have been running their validator node on the testnet, and they went ahead and got their testnet Azero, and then they decided not to update it, and it's slowing down testnet and preventing other validators from validating blocks because the dead validators are blocking them. So we're going to go ahead, and they went ahead and updated the testnet so that way they start getting removed, and the actual validators who are paying attention and updating and securing the network are the ones that get the testnet rewards. Now, on top of this update, they did improve the consensus mechanism. This basically made it much easier for the validators to talk together and to sort of come to consensus on how the network is syncing. Okay, and beyond that, they went ahead and introduced a new layer here to ensure the compatibility of the consensus mechanisms messages sent in Aleph BFT. So it was a minor update, but there was a lot of big changes. As a validator node, now we can go ahead and specify where our data directory is, as well as specify ports and stuff like that straight from the command line. Makes it much easier for us. Also, we can specify our DNS server and our personal IP address, which I think basically that helps the other validator nodes connect directly to us to go ahead and improve the peer throughput. And it looks like they also updated the substrate to version 9.28, so that way it kind of syncs better with the Polkadot substrate ecosystem. And that's pretty much it for the validator testnet update. I do know a lot of people are getting kicked off of the validator consensus team. So if you get kicked off on accident and you're running a validator node and you didn't update on time, just go ahead and contact the Aleph Zero team and update your node and refill out the form, and you should be good to go. I think testnet, it's not a big deal to get removed because you can just get added again. A lot of people make mistakes. Testnet is not mainnet, so not everybody's going to be quite as thorough as they would be with their mainnet, but it's really important to build our skills as validators. Cryptstar is going to be hoping to be one of the top validators for the Aleph Zero blockchain, and it's really important to make sure that you stay on top of these things so that way your delegators get all of their get all of their tokens that they should get from staking. Because if your validator sucks, you're not going to get the highest reward possible from staking your Aleph Zero. Okay, take a look at the Polkadot telemetry. You can see the Cryptstar node here. We have 6 nodes running And yeah, the testnet right now, it is duplicating, making a ghost node, but this is just due to a substrate telemetry issue. Has nothing to do with actual validator being duplicate. You can see here for Cryptstar Validator 1 we have 1, and 2 we have 2, and there's only one actually moving blocks here, so you can see that that's actually working properly. There's just a telemetry issue, which is why we have duplicates. This should be updated here soon. And we did update node 4 here, which is why we only have 2, but we're still getting this this ghost entry here. And I'm not sure when that's going to go away. So we're going to try and update the rest of these later this week and see if we can get rid of all these extra entries. But like I said, this isn't hurting the blockchain at all. It's just a telemetry thing. Let's go and move on to our next topic of discussion. I want to discuss the Aleph Zero and the liminal private DeFi layer. Now, right now we do have, Uniswap and PancakeSwap and all these other DEXs and AMMs and DeFi protocols, GMX, all these things. Liminal, what it's going to do is it's going to enable you to work on DeFi in a complete private way. So it's going to create a super shield to make sure that nobody else can see you when you're swapping from Aleph Zero to Ethereum and back. It's going to be on this layer, so you're going to push from Aleph Zero layer 1, push it to the layer 2, and then use Liminal here. And Liminal will be a decentralized exchange. And then from there, from Liminal, you can go ahead and push it to other blockchains. So everything from your Aleph Zero main sort of wallet will be shielded going into layer 2. And then from the shield, you can move it to Polkadot and all the other ecosystems, blockchain ecosystems. So that's going to be the biggest difference with Aleph Zero, which is why a lot of people are bullish on Aleph Zero, because it helps you maintain your privacy, which a lot of people like to have. Hackers, when they go ahead and target specific people, they look that once this privacy gets enabled, it'll make it much harder for hackers to target you and try and get your personal information to go ahead and kind of make you an easier target. Okay, so for example, people know me as a YouTuber. They're going to go ahead and email me with propositions and stuff, and it's happened before, and then I get hacked because I think it's a new customer. Well, with this privacy layer enabled, it'll be much harder for them to find me on the blockchain. Okay, so that's a very positive thing for Aleph Zero. Probably the number one thing in my book. This is why I'm running a validator node for Aleph Zero. Now, the number 2 reason that I do love Aleph Zero is their focus on the carbon negative network. Now, there are a few things involved in creating a carbon negative blockchain. One, it starts from the software layer. You need to build the actual code base in a language that uses less power. And you can see here, unsurprisingly, although not exactly intuitive, the revelation that coding languages we employ when building applications and electronic devices impact energy expenditure. How does this impact Aleph Zero? Studies in this field were conducted in 2017 by a team of Portuguese researchers that found Rust is the second most eco-friendly language in use. These results contribute an additional layer to Aleph Zero's positive ecological footprint, as Rust is our go-to programming language and is responsible for powering everything being built on the Aleph Zero blockchain. Now this means, as a validator node, since they use containerization in their software and it's built with Rust, you can actually run, at least on testnet, you can run about 15 validators on an 8-core CPU and still only be using about 40% of the compute power. Now, this is not something you want to do on mainnet by no means, but on testnet, it's not a big deal because there's not a whole lot of transactions going on right now. Now, this also means if you build as a validator, I can build my hardware for my validator node using very minimal components that build the basic requirements for an Aleph Zero testnet node, which would be 64 gigabytes of RAM is the recommended, as well as 8 to 16 core CPU. Okay, so you can actually get one of these computers for about $700 on AliExpress, which is what we did. We went ahead and ordered this, and it only uses 90 watts of power. Now, I'm not being cheap here. The reason I bought it was not because it was $600. I just got lucky with that. But the fact is that it runs an Intel Xeon processor with 8 cores and 16 threads. Pretty crazy, okay? And it only uses 90 watts of power. And That's just ridiculous to me. That means if it's only using 40% of its capacity, it's probably using about 50 watts of power or 60 watts of power. Not that much, right? So it's up to the Aleph Zero team to build the software layer and to build an extremely hardware compatible blockchain or DAG protocol that doesn't overwork the system. A lot of blockchains overwork the system, especially proof of work. But with the DAG software, right now, it's not using a lot of compute power, which is one reason I'm very bullish on Aleph Zero, because it doesn't use all these extra resources that it doesn't need. Okay, and another few things to note about the Aleph Zero blockchain is they do have a partnership now with Native, which is a public benefit corporation. And I think they're located in Native's northern Kenya regional lands, and they had initial purchase of 14 tons in carbon offsets and plans to continue this involvement in the other products throughout the future. So the Aleph Zero core development team can maybe do tax write-offs, as well as save money for their developments, and as well as help the environment out. And honestly, Aleph Zero doesn't use that much doesn't have that many environmental issues as it is already. Because it is a DAG, it's already extremely efficient. And from there, it's up to the validators to run a very, very low power, high throughput, high, really high strength servers, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video today. Let's not build, let's build responsibly. And that's what we here at Cryptstar aim to do as well. Build a very, very eco-friendly validator ecosystem. That's why we stick to Tezos right now, and we stick to as well as Everscale and Aleph Zero. So, yep. Thank you guys for viewing. I hope this helped you guys out, give you guys a nice overview of the Aleph Zero ecosystem for November 2022. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out, guys.